Hello, beautiful souls. How are you? I'm here this Monday morning with a motivational post for you all that is as much for myself in my recovery from MECFS as it is for all of you. Let's talk for a minute, if you will, about screen addiction and its relationship with MECFS. So ever since the invention of the smartphone, I have struggled a little bit with screen addiction. Before there were smartphones, I struggled a bit with television addiction. So for me, it's kind of something that has been a coping strategy for a long time. But since the invention of smartphones, it has been worse. And when I became severe with MECFS and I was just trapped, it was like just pouring kerosene on a fire. My addiction to screens got worse. Now, even though I'm recovered and I travel around living a nomadic life, which was my dream, I live alone and I don't have a structured day job. I run a recovery program and I coach. So I make my own hours. I'm my own boss, which is amazing. But it means that there are not structured periods of the day in which I would just be off screens. So I have found that my issue with screens has continued. This is super problematic, not only when you're recovering from MECFS, but when you're recovered, because the screens, doom scrolling on social media, which I'm delivering this content to you on social media, so it is incredibly dysregulating to your nervous system. There's been so many studies that show that, when we see a notification on our phone, it's like a little hit of cocaine almost to your brain, what it does to your dopamine. And also the doom scrolling had a powerful impact on our ability to attend to things. I see this in myself so much. I'm a super creative person, and since I have developed a screen addiction, I have found my creativity has gone way down. It's because my ability to attend to things has gone down. Now, there are a lot of problems with screen addiction when you're really sick with MECFS. It can become this catch-22 where you don't know how to sit with the isolation and the hours and hours and hours in bed, and so you kind of almost can't help but pick up the phone, right? But it is that very scrolling and that relationship with that screen that could be keeping you in bed. So it becomes like this self-perpetuating mechanism. You want to get out of bed and you want to be able to do more, but you're using so much energy on the screens, which are incredibly dysregulating, that you don't have the energy that you'd like to invest in getting out of bed. I can't encourage you enough to find another way to pass the time. Most of our self-sabotaging behaviors are actually there to keep us feeling safe. And there's a huge difference between a coping mechanism and a regulating resource. And the biggest difference here is that a coping mechanism is something that we reach for when we are feeling, whether we're conscious of it or not, emotions that we don't know how to sit with and we don't want to attend to. So that could be like watching TV or binging or eating too much, excessive shopping or screen addiction. It can be a lot of things. But a regulating resource is something that actually helps us process the emotions that we're feeling through. And screen addiction does not do that for me. I would encourage you to try, in the process of giving up screens or cutting down screens, to replacing the habit with a regulating resource. Somatic regulating tools that you can use, that when you feel that urge to pick up your phone, you replace with something else. Or you can replace it with another habit that takes the place of it. So for instance, I started replacing screens with coloring. Eventually then I replaced screens with painting. Painting would actually give me a relief from symptoms because it would distract me similar to the way screens would distract me, and yet it was not dysregulating but regulating, because being creative and painting and coloring and crocheting and gardening and doing things like this help us get into a flow state or a ventral state, because they use a different part of the brain than doom scrolling does. Screens are also super problematic in recovering because they keep us from being able to attend to things. What I talk about so much in recovery is that the foundation of recovery is awareness, being able to be aware of what's happening and then attend to things. So that's another reason why the screens are so problematic, is that they make it very difficult for your mind to slow down enough that you can gain enough awareness that you can put space between a trigger and your reaction, or a behavioral habit that's causing you to overextend yourself and crash. Without the ability to attend to things, awareness is sort of useless if you can't then attend to the things you become aware of. Now that I consider myself recovered, I am noticing that being on screens so much is not only revving up my nervous system again, but is also making it very hard for me to be present and attend to what's in front of me. For instance, this morning I was in the pool and I was swimming, and I looked over, and for a moment I saw a bumblebee. And this bumblebee was having the best day of its bumblebee life. There were these beautiful purple blossoms that were like, lined in flower boxes around the pool. And it was just bouncing from purple blossom to purple blossom, pollinating, 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 pollinating. And for a moment, I was attending to what was right in front of me. But what is so tragically sad for me is that when I'm lost in screen addiction, I lose my ability to attend to the beautiful reality of what's happening in that moment. The things that I can usually deepen into when I'm in a state of meditation, which is what exactly is alive within me and around me in that moment. And the deeper I go into awareness, the more incredible it is, because there's this whole magical reality unfolding in that very moment, like that bee, that because I'm so stuck in my head and I'm so revved up and I'm so unable to attend, I'll never see it. It's been a beautiful reminder to me as well that I have to regulate my nervous system when I feel the desire to pick up my phone, figure out what is the underlying emotion behind why I'm picking up the phone. What emotion is it that I don't want to feel when I pick up the phone, and attending to that emotion so that I can then attend to the beautiful world around me and become aware of it again, instead of always living in this revved up state in which I can't focus on anything and I can't attend to anything. So I hope this was helpful to all of you. I hope you're all having a beautiful day wherever you are. And I hope that you watch this video and turn off your phone. Because that's what I'm about to do. Be the bumblebee, my friends. Be the bumblebee. I'll see ya.